Just 10 minutes ago, I was fucking crying my eyes out. But for the first time in so long, it wasn't from me hating myself. It wasn't from someone else hurting me. And it wasn't even from accomplishing a grand feat that I've been building up, like benching 405. It was just from a leg workout. So, as some of you guys know who are watching the other channel and just keeping up with the shit I'm doing right now in my life, is I am training for a bodybuilding show in September 2024. That is something that, quick rundown of the fucking story. When I was 11 years old, I started training, and what got me into the gym was genuinely, like, I saw this pretty girl, and in my mind I was like, that girl will never, a girl like that will never talk to me because I am a fat piece of shit. Sorry, let me adjust this. It's giving me fucking crazy OCD. So I started lifting, and I would do these crazy workouts to failure every single day when I was 11, like in my mom's basement, holding my breath because my dad would sleep in the room where we had the little screw-on dumbbells, and I didn't want to wake him up. And I would eat my meals, and I trained like a fucking bodybuilder. I was obsessed with bodybuilding. Like, I would... the only thing my YouTube recommended would show me would be just dudes in short shorts. Like half-naked men. I was obsessed, man. Like, every single night I would picture myself being on the Olympia stage and winning. Because, like, this is gonna sound so fucking black pill bullshit, but I diluted myself into believing that that I could actually make it to become like a pro bodybuilder, like naturally somehow. I would watch guys like Jeff Side. If you're an OG bodybuilding guy, I watched Jeff Side. I thought he was natural. I still don't know. And he would talk about how he was like a natural Olympian at 19. I was like, dude, it's just because of hard work. And I worked my fucking ass off. Granted, I was like 11 or 12 years old, but I worked so fucking hard. Like, the kids in school thought I was like that. I was the stereotypical Sigma guy, you know, who was like always by himself, like what? But yeah. But then I quit. I remember being 13 years old and I quit because I walked into our school's weight room, our high school's weight room, and I saw all the older kids, all the rugby kids doing powerlifting. And I was like, damn, I'm pretty fat, I'm pretty strong. And I walked in and I pulled my first 3-plate deadlift. And it was like, that's when my mind changed. It was not only like, I'm good at this, but the validation from other people was fucking insane. And I don't want to say that my whole ages 13 to 19 or 20, 13 to 20 of powerlifting was just like a joke for other people. Because no, it taught me so much about my life, and I worked my ass off on it, and it gave me aspiration. But truly, something I noticed about myself is I quit when I realized I can't be the best. And I think that comes from me doing things for other people. Like, I'm people pleaser at my core, man. Like, my whole childhood was trying to please others in like a mentally fucking traumatic childhood. I can't even talk about it, bro. Like, that's like, I talk to you guys about so much vulnerable shit. I can't even talk about what happened to me, man. But it's like, fuck. So my whole life as a kid, I just wanted to please other people. And that led me to, like, all I wanted was to be the world champion powerlifter. And I thought it was, like, I genuinely put all my money on, like, if I had the opportunity as a kid, I would have done it. But fucking the big virus came in and knocked it out. I was gonna go to Worlds and all that bullshit, whatever. But and that really broke my heart. Like, that training for 3 years straight, every single day, envisioning. Imagine every fucking day you vision in your mind from the minute you wake up to the minute you sleep, winning something or doing something, and then it gets taken away by the world. Womp womp. But recently, Going back to the bodybuilding, two things. One, I realized I ran away from the bodybuilding as a kid just because I was in it for the wrong reasons. I wanted to do it for the glory. I wanted to fill some void in my life of me not loving myself and being told by everyone around me that I'm worthless. I wanted it like to win that Olympia, to fill some fucking void in my life. But I recently made a video that was hard for me to make on the main channel. Granted, that like the shit on the main channel is like way more editing, and like there's a lot, like some of the lines are like, I don't say scripted, but like we pre-planned like what topics to talk about and shit. It's not free flow like this. But one thing that I'm really coming into my life right now, I wish all of you guys will gain, and I know you'll gain it. And I don't want to say like it's because you're following my channel or something. You know, fuck. Okay, sorry. There was some sales bullshit like that that's just ingrained in me from watching so many fucking scumbag vids. But seriously, I hope all of you guys find it, and I know you will find it. And this is what I think you will. This is what it is. It's getting to a point in your life where you still do hard shit. You still find challenge and push yourself to your fucking max. But this time, you get obsessed. You work your fucking ass off. And you do it out of love. Because this bodybuilding thing is the first time in my life. I have a big feat in front of me. And the fear doesn't come from being so obsessed that if I miss one little thing, I'm gonna hate myself. The fear comes from getting to that dark place again of doing these grand things in my life out of hatred, because like truly for the first time, this shit is like fucking love, man. Like I go into the gym every day and there's like almost zero hatred in my heart. I'm not thinking about that ex-chick who hurt my soul, or like childhood shit, or I gotta be a better man, like, or like this is gonna build me into a fucking real man. No, I just fucking love it. Like I am pushing myself harder than I've ever fucking pushed because I love it. I just enjoy it. Like, and I think I traumatized my brain so much into believing that everything I do has to be out of this hatred that I'm literally trying to find reasons like, why am I pushing so hard? I don't get it. And I've come to realize that sometimes in life you can just do things because you love it. So to today's workout, I was working out with my coach. His name is Jai. 30-something-year-old short Filipino guy. He's my posing coach, and I remember in the beginning, so everyone's telling me, you got to go with this guy as your posing coach. You got to go with this guy. I was like, oh, I've seen them do, him and his brother run like a posing coaching company thing, and I see them train other people. Oh, they're pretty good. They train like a lot of the Olympians that go to my gym. But when I first like started talking with this guy, I never felt the passion that somebody's had for a sport, for like bodybuilding especially, and it not be like cringe as fuck. I've never felt someone love it, like all aspects, right? And a couple key moments. So he does my posing, and then he was like, let's train together. And I was like, oh dude, this is gonna be perfect for a video, because I want to make a video about like dropping my ego. I want to make a video about how it is tough for me, like coming to the gym, and the fact that I back in my day I used to bench 405 and now I can barely bench 3 plates. That is tough, and tough to fully commit and fully switch to the next chapter in your life is tough, right? We did a meet and greet where like 40 young men came out, and we all pushed ourselves to absolute failure. And I was like leading the session, and I remember before we did the pushing ourselves to failure, we did a strength test, and like I just hopped into bench 3 plates for a joke, and I basically failed it. And I felt this like huge sense of shame and embarrassment, but it was nothing near as what it would have been like a couple months ago. And I see that mental growth in myself, that now it's like My mindset has shifted that my pride doesn't come from being like the strongest to validate others. It comes from being proud of myself for what I'm doing, like what the current mission is. And the current mission right now is to get fucking jacked and juicy and swollen bodybuilding. Today I learned some crazy shit about bodybuilding, man. I'm gonna release the video on the full channels the full video on the main channel soon, and it is going to be fucking crazy. Here's some takeaways. So we started the workout doing hip adductors, to fucking pushing the shit in. And I learned how to use a weight, like that was probably 30 pounds on my, oh sorry, I see the timer. I have a timer because I gotta go to fucking lunch. I had to learn how to control light weights, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the meat and juicy part. Okay. So we get to the part in the workout where we have 3 exercises left. Hack squat, leg press, and one more that I didn't even know this was a workout. And we just did like 4 exercises before for the hamstrings and the glutes to warm up the body, and it was brutal already. Like my legs are already fucking shaking. I get into the hack squat, and then I'm making jokes about how all these kids on like TikTok and shit, like they post these videos of them like going to failure, but they're just like fucking like with their head, right? And then in my opinion, they're probably not actually pushing that hard, and they're just like faking it. One thing I always say, especially if you watch the main channel or other things, I always talk about death sets. Death set is this principle that I made that's just taking one set in your workout to absolute beyond failure. But the only rule is you can't fake it. Because if somebody's gonna like tell you, right, like go to failure, you can fake it so you can get off. So you gotta ask yourself, like, how many times when you're working out are you, so if somebody is like telling you like go, keep going, you're gonna fake the face and fake how tough it actually is so you can get off a little bit quicker. Like even if it's the worst mindset, you're probably gonna do that, right? So when I teach people death sets, I'm like, that's the one rule, is you have to be true to yourself. You can fake all the facing you want, and you can even fake me out, and I can coach wrong and think that you stopped before. However, you cannot fake it to yourself, and that is the principle, is you cannot fake the shit to yourself. So next time you're in the gym, I encourage you to do that. Take one set to absolute failure. But here's what I learned today, is I noticed you'll get to that point. Let's say you pick a weight on that, like today, we pick a weight on the hack squat, we can only do 8 reps. But then we do it so slow, 3 seconds down to squeeze the muscle at the bottom, and then 3 seconds back up, that by the time I get to 5 reps, I feel like fucking dying, okay? And then we bring it down, we squeeze, we go up, and I got to the point where I was either about to fake it or I was about to like use different momentum, like do the rep just a little bit worse so I'm not actually, so I can get more reps. And I Coach Jai is such a fucking, like, he knows this, he knows people so well, he can tell. And he like, I just remember he looks at me and he's like, don't fake this shit. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, I have to listen to myself. So I go down to the bottom, I squeeze, and I thought I was gonna get 8 reps. On the 6th rep, I was about to fucking die going up. Right after I get up, he makes me flex the muscles, like hold the quads, feel the fucking pain, like. And then we do another set. And on this set, he goes, close your eyes, don't look at that camera. Because Sharik's filming right now. Like, don't look at the fucking camera. I'm like, he's like, there's no camera. He's like, it's just you. Close your eyes and imagine the pad is like gravity and you're fighting against it. And I remember something in my brain happened when I went into this flow state. Click. And as I'm going down, I hear click, 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 like the machine's sounds, right? And it sounds like I'm on a roller coaster ride, like going to the very top. And I squeeze the muscle, flex as fucking hard as I can, and I fight against gravity. I shoot, my eyes are still closed, and I feel the most fucking like dragon burning my leg. And he made it do it 8 more times, and then 2 more times, and like, I remember I was about to rack the weight, and he grabs my hand and he throws it off. He's like, 1 more. And I noticed I got this little anger toward him. I was like, holy shit. I was like, dude, this is what I'm trying to teach other people. And then after, we get onto the leg press. And he makes me go as deep as I physically can. And now I'm focusing, I have to focus on my form. I have to focus on keeping myself locked into the machine. I have to focus on the tempo. I have to focus on how many reps. And what he says to me, he's like, okay. And this whole time we didn't even use our headphones. He's like, put on the headphones. He's like, fucking meditate on this shit. Dude, I could talk about this to you guys for hours, man. I've never felt so passionate about something, like, about lifting. Sorry if I'm fucking rambling. Most people have clicked off, but I'm gonna keep going. Fuck it. I remember I'm listening to music, right? For some reason, I almost start tearing up. I'm listening to My Way by Frank Sinatra, epic version on YouTube. That song's fucking G, bro. I'm listening to it before I even go into rep, watching him do it, and I'm like almost tearing up. I just feel this emotion. I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? And I get under the machine and I go down and I push this shit up as like rep after rep, most pain I've ever felt. And then the camera, like Sharik leaves to go take a piss, and he grabs me and is like, dude, he's like, okay, we're gonna do one more set. He's like, last time you only did 8 reps. He's like, we're gonna get 20. What the fuck? It was brutal. And then after that, I thought we were done. Like, I thought the whole workout was done. And I was already like, this is going to be a great video. This is amazing. This is more than I ever thought it was going to be. And he's like, one more. And he brings me to the leg extension. He locks my legs in. And then what I learned there was something that I've never learned before. When I ran the marathon, when I quit the nicotine, it was like when tough things happen to me, and when tough things happen to people, it's like the way that you push through it is you don't calm yourself and keep going. You use that anger and you just like burst through the pain. Like if you have negative thoughts and being through depression is like when you're in that low point, you don't calm, you just keep going, like fighting and crying. But this time, the tough part about this new type of training was when you get to that pain, the worst pain, the feeling like the muscle is actually on fire. You want to squirm, you want to get off, you want to give up. Instead of faking it and squirming and using momentum to get up, you have to take that deep breath. Just like if you're in a fight with somebody, like emotionally, just like if you're fighting yourself, fighting the demons, whatever the thing is in your life, this is the best advice that I've ever learned. You take a deep breath, you calm yourself, and you fucking fight through that shit, like out of love for yourself. Out of, I want to get better type of shit. And that's what I did for like reps and reps. And then I thought I was done. And he's like, drive your fucking, on the leg extension, like, drive your knees to the sky. Drive your ankles to the sky. And it was like, to the point where we kept dropping and dropping. But also, I'm not allowed to swing and fake it. I have to keep my body fucking stoic as hell. Like, stoicism to the max. And then I remember it got to a point where we didn't even use the machine anymore. And I couldn't even kick my fucking legs up. And it was crazy because it was like pushing through a barrier in your life, but without that like frustrating feeling, just like purely concentrated, just like doing it. I don't even know how to describe it to you guys, but after we finished the thing, he said, good set. He goes to the washroom. I just felt this feeling and I just couldn't help it. And I was just tearing up and I was like fucking like sobbing, man. But this time the tears, like the last time I cried after something was the marathon, and all I was thinking about was like how much I like fucked up in life, and like how I hated that people and life made me feel like I wasn't a man and I had to prove that I was a man doing tough things. Sorry. Yeah, I hated that I didn't feel like a man. That fucking that ex-girlfriends in my life made me feel like I didn't deserve to be loved by anybody because I was like not a traditional man. Like I was a loser. Like everything I thought about myself was wrong and I was a loser. And then I hated myself even more that I was even thinking about shit like that. And those were the thoughts when I was crying after running the marathon and benching the 405 and stuff, was like proving people wrong and proving myself wrong. But that only lasts so little. But this time, it was like pure. It was pure euphoria. It was pure passion. And it was like, it was pure love for myself, man. So, the one actionable step I would get is the way that I found that bodybuilding was the next thing I wanted to try. And I don't know. Maybe after the show, I never do it again. But try different things. So at first, turn off social media. Turn off all that shit. Turn off everything for just one day. And go try the shit that you found even a little interest in. Because not everybody is so lucky as me that they're going to have a buddy at the gym pull them into kickboxing, pull them into Muay Thai, or a coach this good that's going to bring it out of them. Sometimes in life, and I've done it before, you have to find the shit yourself by going toward what you're avoiding. And I had to do that for the bodybuilding because I was avoiding it for so long because I was scared. I was scared of all the reasons I said in this video. I was fucking terrified. But if you go toward that shit and you commit to it, you will be able to have moments like this where you can prove to yourself that life doesn't have to be doing stuff that's tough just to prove shit to other people. The people that don't fucking actually care about you. It's you can do tough shit because you fucking love yourself. That's my message. I hope you boys find it. I know you'll find it. Yeah, man. I love you boys. If nobody tells you that, if you don't tell yourself that shit, I'll tell you. I love you boys. All right, go do some shit that you love, boys.